Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. This is the weekly forecast. This is Sunday's reading for the underpinning energy for all signs. This is going to be for the week of Sunday the 10th through the 16th. And it looks like our full moon is on Saturday the 16th. And the full moon will be in the sign of Scorpio, guys. Okay, wow. And it's called the wind moon. I'm not sure why, but that's what my calendar is telling me. So full moon, 2:55 p.m. on the 16th, Saturday, in the sign of Scorpio. So interesting. Oh no, the moon enters Scorpio at 8:23 p.m. So it's going to be full moon energy in, what is before Scorpio? Scorpio, is it Libra? Right now. Anyways, this is I'm getting off on a tangent. This is the weekly forecast. It is the underpinning energy of the week. Each of these cards will represent for a day or two of the week. We will each experience these cards slightly differently around a different situation, person, feeling, like whatever we're dealing with in our own individual way. So I do speak in broad terms. You have to figure out where this best fits for you, if at all. Okay? Some of you may experience only one of these cards this week. Some of you may experience all of these and then some. It all really depends on what your trajectory is. So kind of take what you need and leave the rest. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my videos, my daily videos. It's got some instructions in there that I want you to keep in mind and ways that you can support the channel. So please support the channel. I'm trying to get my name out there and want to be seen. So please let your friends know, post the video if you like it, post the video on your social media feeds, hit the thumbs up button, leave a question or comment, subscribe to the channel. All of that stuff is great ways to support the channel. It's a lot of free content that I put out on this channel. So check out other videos. If you're seeing this out of sync, like it's a date that's not the 10th through the 16th of April, that's okay. You might still be able to get something from the message that's within the video. I believe Spirit has a way of getting us the messages when we need them, rather than when they're created for. Okay, so you don't have to turn this off if it's the middle of January and you're watching this. All right, and I know somebody at some point in time is going to be in the middle of January watching this and freak out because I said that. Leave me a comment when you see this. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what's going on with cards. What do they want us to know for this week? What do we need to prepare? What's out there and available to us? All right, so the beginning of the week is the Seven of Wands. We saw her in last week's reading, and I like her. We've been getting a lot of Wands energy, which is fine with me. We are in Aries season in this month, so that Wands fiery energy is a good thing. This is a particularly different sort of depiction of the Seven of Wands, in my opinion. The Seven of Wands is traditionally a man fighting off, six other wands pointed at him, and we have the wands pointed at her here, but she's sort of in this protective bubble of her own power, her own centeredness. And so even though in the Seven of Wands there indicates like a fight or a struggle, the gentleman that's in the traditional card is sort of winning ultimately, right? But he has to fight. To me, there feels like there's less fight in her. Not less, but there's less of a need for resistance with her. She's sort of in her own bubble, right? She's safe where she is with her own perceptions or realizations around the situation. She's emanating from her third chakra, which is her own personal power. She's not seeking outside validation. There might be, opinions pointed at her or us this week. There might be, ideas or things that are being I don't want to say pushed upon us, but expectations, others' needs, others' perceptions or opinions of us that could be pointed at us this week in the early part of the week, right? That would be the six other wands that are pointed at her. But are we letting that really get to us? Not necessarily, is my feeling, right? She goes inward more so than outward. She stays centered. She stays grounded. She stays in her personal power of her third chakra and remains productive, right? From a space of spiritual action in a way, right? Because Wands is that fire, which is connected to the spirit, and it is about taking action. Let me put the other puppy up because he's being bad. 1 second. What are you doing? I try and leave you out, and then you do stupid stuff like this. You can't do this. Show your turn over a minute. I gotta film. I try and let you have freedom, but you don't really behave. You kind of do stuff you're not supposed to. So I can't wait for him to be old enough to be able to just be trusted. He's like a little criminal. Okay, so I like this card as our lead because, like I said, it is productive. There might be some resistance to the situation. Some of you could be creating this bubble around you to shut things out that you don't want to see. Don't necessarily do that. Understand that you're strong enough to face whatever's around you and sort of withstand it in a way. I don't want to give anybody the wrong impression that you need to like put up with stuff that's not okay with you. I don't think that's the meaning of this card. The meaning of this card is more about, you know, if there's things that are going on around you that are not okay with you, you don't have to get sucked into it. You don't have to sink to that level. You can remain centered, grounded, and kind of in your own personal power as maybe struggles or challenges show themselves to you, right? And you can still be productive and fiery with this Seven of Wands card. You can still be able to accomplish things in the early part of this week, even if other stuff, people, situations feel like they're going left on you, okay? Now let's look at the midweek card. The midweek card is the Hermit. Very interesting because we're seeing light emanating from her third here. She's also in this stance. We also have another seated stance person. The Hermit is Major Arcana. It's card number 9 of the Major Arcana. It's associated with the sign of Virgo, right? Which is a very earthy, grounded sign. But to me, the Hermit is about going within, completely finding one's own answer, not necessarily engaging with the outside world, right? We may have to engage a certain amount in the early part of the week with that Seven of Wands, but we're really kind of contemplating maybe, I don't know, going into our cave by the midweek. That would be the Hermit's energy. Going inward, trying to find the answers within oneself, what is right for us rather than others, and really living by that from a place of strength and from, again, that centeredness. To me, the Seven of Wands, the design of the Seven of Wands, is like the precursor to this Hermit card in the sense that as we grow that ability to become stronger in our own awareness of self, the Hermit is able to kick in a way, and we are able to take the like sort of deeper path or the more, I don't know, centered spiritual perspective that may be solitary, right? Because Hermit is definitely a solitary card. He's not companioned, you know. I mean, this could be just a very basic, I need to withdraw at the middle of the week for my own, you know, mental health or security or to clear my mind. That's definitely all Hermit stuff. But I feel like we've known this from the beginning of the week, and maybe we're just sort of over it with some of the situations that are going on around us. And the light within us shines, right? It feels to me like that light from the first card that's in her third chakra is now emanating stronger, at a greater brightness in the Hermit. And the Hermit is definitely empowered, right? 9, the number 9 in tarot, which this is the 9th card of the Major Arcana, is about, you know, personal completions and coming to an ending with, say, a situation, a person, something at work, whatever it is that we're dealing with. We've come to an understanding with it where we can kind of see our own awareness or our own power, our own strength within the situation. And again, we don't necessarily, I definitely get this feeling of withdrawal and not engaging like maybe how we used to. Where this may be a situation that normally would have pushed all of our buttons. This week, we're not allowing it to, is my feeling. This week, we're kind of going a different route. We're going more inward. We're going more to a place of seeking the answers within ourselves rather than from the outside environment. Because the outside environment may not be giving us what we want this week with that Seven of Wands kicking it off, right? But we're not letting that bother us by the midweek. We're actually taking that and using it as a catalyst for strengthening ourselves, for strengthening our wisdom and our awareness of who we are, what we need, how we want it, whatever it is we're looking at, right? That would be what the Hermit represents, that understanding, that solid, firm awareness of our own light, how it shines, what it's worth, all of those things. Those should be the things that we're seeking in both the beginning and the midweek, because they will be transformative and they will be strengthening, if that makes any sense. You might feel a little bit lonely, like the Hermit can be a little bit on his own, but that downtime or alone time is actually going to serve a purpose and be uh, what's the word? I don't know if it's going to educate us in a way as to who we are, what we need. You know, each one of you is going to be finding this information, this depth within yourself around a different situation, or sort of at a different level, but you're getting to know yourself, your needs, your truths, really, at a much more profound, deep, sort of grounded level. Okay. Now, the last card for the week, oh, interesting, is the Devil. Hello, Devil. And this is card number 19. No, sorry, 15, which is a 6 numerologically. So the Devil is associated with the sign of Capricorn, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's still Earth. It's still about remaining grounded. But the Devil can oftentimes represent things that we are tempted by, things that we maybe have sort of addictions around, things that we have unhealthy connections to, things that we are dependent upon, and those things becoming sort of blatantly obvious. The Devil is not necessarily a welcome card in readings, but I always look at the Devil and the Tower and the Death card as sort of inevitabilities that we have to face. And if we don't, they kind of wreak havoc in our lives, especially the Devil, right? The Devil is the thing that we want to sweep under the rug. The Devil is the thing that we don't want to look at. The Devil, to me, and this is something that could be within us, right? And that Hermit in the midweek might lead us to having to look or be challenged by some of our, what's the best word to say? I don't want to say our failings, but maybe, the Devil could be our insecurities. The Devil could be our fears. The Devil could be our anger. The Devil could be, the Devil could certainly be a situation that's outside of ourselves too, that we are faced with, that we are struggling with, that is wreaking havoc in our lives, that we might be unable to find freedom from, right? And he's staring us dead in the face in a way by the end of this week. My gut is sort of telling me that we might be faced with having to look at something that's rather important and yet also unpleasant by the end of this week. The interesting thing to me is we do have that full moon in Scorpio, which is going to be highly emotional and highly psychic. And oftentimes Scorpio comes with deep, intense, sort of transformative energy. Scorpio is attached to the Death card, right? Which is another card that, like I said, is not very welcome in any reading. But Scorpio is deeply transformative. And that full moon in Scorpio, to me, is about the release, right? We always release at full moons. So what is it that this Devil card represents for you that you could potentially release this week that is holding you back, keeping you in bondage, keeping you sort of in stuck in a way, right? The Devil serves us in a way because he shows us where our weak spots are. He shows us where our vulnerabilities are. He shows us in a way where we need to put in a little bit more work, or be a little bit more aware of, this is an area where you could potentially be harming yourself, right? And we may not want to look at that. It's sometimes an unpleasant experience. This could be situations outside of ourselves too. It doesn't necessarily have to be internal, guys. But what I want you to understand is that the Devil is trying to show you where it is you need to maybe let go, disengage, no longer fight. I'm going to say for some of you, this to me looks like this is going to be, I don't want to say a rough week, but like a week where we really have to make probably a firm, hard decision around a situation that is important to us. And I feel like for some of you, that Seven of Wands is the beginning of that. The Hermit is the deepening of it. And then the Devil is like the not being able to avoid the truth. And the fact that we have two major arcana on this week, and both of them are earth signs, makes it feel like it could be a big, not smack to the face, but undeniable, right? Because that earth element to me is so kind of grounded and dense that the truth cannot be sort of ignored any longer, is my feeling. We're going to have to look at what is going on and then consider the release of that, because of the full moon, is my feeling. All right, let me shuffle for the Sacred Forest Oracle card. 6 is a number of balance too, associated with that Devil card. So I want you to understand that in looking at this, ultimately, we can be restored to balance if we're willing to release it, if we're willing to sort of face our frailties, our, where we're stuck. We could be dealing with somebody else that's stuck. We could be dealing with a situation that sucks us in every time, and we need to kind of not be sucked in. Does that make sense? And so that handout right there, it feels like he wants to just, take us right back in there and be like, come on, let's just fuck around a little bit more. Let's waste some more time, and that's like what we don't want to do this week, is my feeling. So keep that in mind. And we need to be strong this week, is my feeling, which we will be, I think, but we are definitely going to be sort of facing a profound decision or realization around something that we probably care a lot about, is my feeling, with the intensity of these last two cards. But it's like denying it isn't necessarily going to work in our favor. Let's see what we need to know. So we have Aspen Spirit, Courage, card number 3. Interesting, we have 3, 6, and 9. They're all kind of divisible. So to me, the first thing that I notice about this Aspen Spirit is that like the forest looks thick around the castle, right? There's light beyond the castle, and we're sort of stuck in the forest of the aspen trees, and that could be some of the confusion of the Devil, also the depth of the Hermit, feeling sort of not trapped, but can't see the forest from the trees in a way. I do love the 2 blue butterflies on this card. To me, they represent transformation. Actually, there's 3 blue butterflies. To me, they represent transformation, rebirth, being changed in some way, shape, or form. And I do think that this light correlates with the light that we see in the Hermit and the light that we see in the Seven of Wands. The word courage to me obviously brings up the idea that we're going to need to be brave with whatever we're facing, not only within ourselves with this Hermit card here, but also with the Devil. However this Devil presents itself in our life, whether it's through temptation or through a situation or person that we can't let go of, or maybe in a situation at work that we can't not like get involved in or feel pissed off by. This is a week where we're trying to let that go. And we may have to really be challenged by it at the end of the week to really understand the true depth of where we sit with it. And then to have this courage to sort of let it go or no longer engage, step away, release at the full moon. Again, that full moon in Scorpio says that it's going to feel emotional. It's going to be probably a little angering, is my feeling, just because Scorpio can be a bit of an intense sign in general. So if we find ourselves frustrated or angry with ourselves or with another person or situation in our life, don't be surprised. But the courage here is that we can transform this. We can get through this. We can get to sort of, how I want to say, the castle on the other side. The castle says to me through that forest that there is something on the other side here that's well worth the challenge that may be presented to us this week. So, Aspen Spirit, Courage. In the forest, you can hear the whispering of the trees in the aspen grove. Your awareness sinks beneath the surface, your sense of the aspen's network of roots, which allows each tree to connect with the rest of the grove. This connection also makes them a simple organism, united at a soul level that can live for thousands of years. If the Aspen Spirit card has shown up in your life today, it brings a message of courage, protection, community, and the ability to face and overcome obstacles in life. Know that you are protected and you are safe. You are ready to step forward with courage and grace, no matter what seems to be blocking your way. The Aspen's network of roots is a sign that you should be open to support from others. Combine your effort with like minded individuals. You don't need to do it alone. This may be a good time to bond with people over a creative project or a community endeavor. In Celtic tradition, the aspen was associated with community, endurance, and protection. The Celts chose the wood of the aspen tree to make their battle shields, to protect them from spiritual as well as physical harm. It sheltered the soul from its deepest fears. Aspen was thought to be the teacher of fearlessness and carried a message of strength in facing the unknown. The spirit of the aspen says, the energy of your inner spiritual warrior is ready to step forward, to face any challenges or blockages in life. Be willing to accept help and be fearless. So wherever we are facing ourselves and areas where we need work, i.e. the devil card at the end of this week, they're going to be profound, right? And they're going to be blatant. That's the earthiness of the Virgo Capricorn thing. And they're going to stir up emotions and things within us just because of the influence of that full moon, I feel like, that are going to be emotional and intense. But we can survive this or see our way through this. And that's what I feel like Aspen Spirit is trying to remind us. We are not alone as we face these things within ourselves and around us. And we have an opportunity here to transform them. Let's go to the grounding stone. And the grounding stone for the week is believe, which is a Pisces statement. I believe is the statement for the sign of Pisces. Remaining open and grounding in that belief that we can see our way through this, that we can face anything, that we do have strength from within us. We do have inner wisdom. We do have intelligence that goes far beyond what we think we're capable of, right, guys? That's really what I think that we need to ground in this week. Is that intelligence, that depth, that security that the Aspen Spirit talks about, right? We not only have support from around us, but we also have support from within. That is the strength of the Hermit card in the midweek. I even feel like there's strength to sort of, I don't want to say take care of our own battles, but like not get sucked in at the beginning of the week with the Seven of Wands. But the devil is going to force us to face whatever it is what we're trying to like maybe resist or avoid. Right? But we need to face it. We need to have the courage and we need to believe in ourselves enough that we can face it so that we can sort of transform it, release it, and let it go to move on. That is your weekly forecast. I look forward to seeing you guys this week to see how the energy builds. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, leave a question or comment, and share it out with your friends. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you all for your viewership, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful week and take care. Bye-bye.